Thank you, Priscilla. Thank you, Noor. Good morning, parents. Thank you for taking the time this morning to join us at E-Open House. My name is Doreen. I'll be sharing with you more about the key highlights of the SST school experience. This diagram illustrates some of the key milestone events experienced by our students in their 4 years in SST. Many of the programs that I'll be sharing in a short while are led and planned by our student leaders under the guidance and mentorship of our teachers. These student-led programs provide authentic opportunities for our students to collaborate with their peers, understand different cultures, apply their creativity, strengthen their critical thinking skills, hone their communication skills, as well as build confidence in themselves and their abilities. At the start of each school year, the students from the Peer Support Board plan a week-long program to welcome our new Secondary 1 students to the SST community. The theme for this year's orientation is "We will not fear the future, for we strive." How apt it is, especially for this pandemic situation. This is a line taken from our SST school song. With the current pandemic situation, the future appears turbulent, uncertain. It is then our hope that our students will not fear the future and strive to be the best selves each day. After the orientation program, a group of dedicated peer support leaders will continue to check in with students to see how they're doing across the course of the year. At the end of the orientation program, the Sec 1 students are formally inducted into the SST community at the badge ceremony. So here you can see students very happy getting their badge. The SST 3M InnoScience Challenge is one of the highlights of the year for Secondary 1 students as well. We're in our 8th running year. It's a cohort-wide program that aims to nurture innovative culture among Sec 1 students. For this program, we work in partnership with 3M Singapore. At the start of the challenge, each team of students receive a special innovative toolkit you can see on the top right, containing 3M items that they can use across the project. Students then use design thinking and change-maker process to identify ways to mitigate real-world challenges in areas such as safety and sustainable living. Selected students will have the opportunity to present their ideas and prototypes to external guests, some of whom are engineers from 3M. The overseas learning experience is part of SST's active citizenship education program, where students are given the opportunity to break out of their comfort zones to interact and work with students from our partner schools across different countries. This experience is highly valued by our students as they appreciate the opportunity to make new friends across the globe, develop a deeper and understanding appreciation of different cultures. What is unique about this experience is that all Secondary 1 students will have the opportunity to travel overseas as a class. This experience was suspended due to the COVID situation, and we really hope that we'll resume the program once we can do so. Despite the pandemic situation, we remain connected with our global partner schools. So each of our Secondary 2 students is paired with at least one partner school to engage in borderless learning, and they work collaboratively virtually to advocate for a common cause that is related to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Through this program, our students learn that despite being in different geographical situations and locations, the communities around the world are facing similar challenges. The SST Changemaker InnoFest is a makeathon type event that nurtures a maker and innovative mindset in our students. This event is very intensive. It takes over 3 days. So prior to the InnoFest event, the students undergo role-specific skill sets to be trained over 1 semester. So over the 3 days, students work together in teams with their special skill sets to solve problems and challenges based on themes such as seeking elderly-friendly solutions to existing problems or managing natural and man-made disasters. So after 3 days of intensive discussion, testing, refining, students present their proposals and prototypes to distinguished guests who are practitioners in their field. So in upper secondary, we continue our SST school experience programs, and one of the highlights would be the MOE-OBS challenge program. Since the inception of the school, the OBS challenge has been an integral part of our school experience for Secondary 3 students. Through outdoor adventure learning experiences, students build camaraderie when they work together in unfamiliar situations. They learn to help one another, strive together, have empathy for others, maintain a positive attitude in the face of adversity. Many of our students have shared that time in OBS have been an experience of a lifetime. Due to the pandemic, the program was limited to a 2-day day camp. With the easing of restrictions, we are pleased to inform that our Secondary 3 students will be undergoing a 2-day, 1-night residential camp this July. The students are very excited about it. So in secondary 4, we actually have the Discover program that was shared earlier by Priscilla. It's a week-long program in January. Through these experiences, students are provided with unique out-of-class experience where they're able to connect their learning in school with the world of work and explore possible careers that they may be interested in pursuing in the future. So some of the programs here, I'm just going to elaborate a little bit. In the Stratified Care in vitro diagnostics program, there's a workshop that aims to reinforce concepts taught in biotechnology. During this workshop, students attend lectures and obtain hands-on experience in performing disease diagnosis using in vitro diagnostic kits. In the Python computing course, students wrote and trained a software bot to perform tasks. In the space camp, students became more aware of the trends and development of space science and technology in the 21st century. They attended lectures from university professors virtually and assembled part of the software-defined radio, which was used as an observational tool by many scientists, weather scientists. Students also learned how to use Instagram augmented reality filters to create and publish augmented reality effects for Instagram and Facebook. Students also advocated and how they could actually impact a social change that would save lives across the world by promoting a tobacco-free generation. Part of the Sec 4 Discover program was a segment where students spent half a day going out on learning journeys, where they gain insights of the different roles played by the companies in Singapore's context. We hope to be able to inspire our students to work towards their career aspirations, and hopefully maybe one of them will start a company one day. So at the end of Sec 4, with a heavy heart, we actually have two events where we celebrate the 4 wonderful years in SST. The Sec 4 graduation ceremony serves as a platform and opportunity for Sec 4 students to celebrate the successful completion of their time in SST. On this day, students spend time to remember and reminisce the memorable moments of their journey in SST. They also take time to show appreciation to their friends and teachers who have journeyed with them. This is done usually before the O-levels. After the O-levels, we have a graduation tea where students come together, they dress formally and they, put up performances, there are games and quizzes. And this marks an important transition of our students' lives as they progress to the next phase of their education. I hope that what I've shared with you have provided you a glimpse of the key highlights of the SST school experience across the 4 years. In SST, we aim to develop future-ready dynamic leaders in service of humanity. So over the past 2 years, we've seen the impact of pandemic across different sectors globally. In this unprecedented time, we believe that it's even more important to develop in our students the skills and competencies that will provide them and prepare them for the vulnerable, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous future. So in SST, we take a whole school approach, an intentional approach to nurture 21st century competencies in the intellectual domain, areas of personal effectiveness, interpersonal effectiveness. These competencies are organized in the table below. So in SST, we believe that each SST student has the potential to be a leader who is able to advocate for worthy cause and the common good, as well as to lead others to act in a manner which will impact the community in a positive way. There are many leadership opportunities and platforms available in SST where students are able to develop skills in leading themselves, others, and the communities. So in SST, we have what we call the House of Leaders. It's comprised of leaders from various leadership boards. So these leadership boards include the Student Council, Peer Support Board, Active Citizenship Education, the sports houses, as well as the co-curricular activities. So in SST, the development of leadership in students is guided by the practices of exemplary leadership put forth by Kozes and Posner. At the end of 4 years, it's our hope that our students will be positive role model to others, able to challenge the process, able to inspire a shared vision, enable others to act and show appreciation of others through encouraging the heart. We also believe that, students should be able to lead communities and make positive impact. So what we have in SST is called the Active Citizenship Education Program, which plays a pivotal role in fostering students to become global citizens who see the world as an interconnected set of systems. And in doing so, we hope our students will be a global citizen who will be able to contribute to the betterment of the community through their actions. So we would like to develop students to be locals everywhere they go, take action regardless of where they are. So in SST, we believe that every individual is a global citizen. Every citizen is an agent of influence and positive change. Time is set aside in our curriculum for students to learn more about service learning, as well as plan service learning projects as a class. So you may want to find out what our students are doing and how they have made a difference in the community through their service learning projects by scanning the QR code on the screen. So I'll give you maybe a few seconds to scan it. And you can take a look at the span of projects our students have done or in the midst of doing. In our one-to-one technology learning environment, our students use the learning device extensively to leverage on available online resources to promote and deepen their learning. We like each student to have the knowledge and skills of how to be able to navigate and act safely and responsibly in the cyberspace. So we actually have the digital citizenship program where we develop students who are positive role models and who are able to respect themselves and others through their social interactions in the cyberspace. So these are different events organized by our digital citizenships, cyber wellness student ambassadors. Many of our SST students who have graduated have shared they've had a positive school experience with many, many good memories. They found their learning meaningful and enjoyable. Here I have a quote from our alumna, Tang Wenyu, from the class of 2016. She says, SST's focus on innovation has really helped shift my mindset from a consumer to a creator. When Wenyu was in SST, she developed an interest in design and took up design studies as an applied subject in secondary 3. I always remember her with a sketchbook, doodling, and always sketching whatever comes to her mind when she was in school. After completing her O-level, she then further developed her interest by pursuing a diploma in sustainability, urban design, and engineering at the Ngee Ann Polytechnic. Wenyu is now currently reading Bachelor of Arts in Architecture at the National University of Singapore. Prior to her university studies, she took a gap year to pursue her passion in art, specifically creating artwork to advocate for the environment, which she's very passionate about. Wenyu's story is similar to many of our students who have returned many years after graduation repeatedly to share that they had 4 fulfilling years in SST. Many were very appreciative of the myriad opportunities they've had to discover their interests, pursue their passion, develop their character, and forge close friendships. Here next, I'm going to share with you about our campus. So you can see this beautiful picture taken from an aerial view. We're located along Commonwealth Avenue West. On the left, you can see part of the Dover Forest. Not sure if you've been there. You can go take venture one day and see where SST is. On the right, you can see the MRT track running vertically across. We're located between the Clementi MRT station and the Dover MRT station. So when you take the MRT from Clementi to Dover, you can see the football field on your left. The building closest to you is Block D, our sports block, which has a basketball court on the rooftop. I'll be sharing with you some of the facilities and special rooms that we have in SST in the next slides. On the top row, on the left, we have the biotechnology lab, where students who are taking biotechnology work on the culture and the control environment. Next to it, we actually have the SST Inc. It's a venue where students from SST Inc. gather weekly for training, as well as to meet up with their teammates to brainstorm ideas for their projects. The Info Hub, which is our library, you can see the design is very cozy. In addition to hard copy books, the Info Hub also has online resources which students can access when doing their research. At the bottom row, we actually have the indoor sports hall as well as auditorium where students gather for assembly talks or other events. The other facilities that we have are different rooms for different purposes. So students use the beta lab and the engineering lab for lessons. We host visitors at the visitor center. And the students from robotics CCA meet twice weekly, or sometimes more, at the robotics room to work on their robots. Next, I'll be sharing with you about scholarships and bursary. No deserving students will be denied a place at SST due to his or her family's financial situation. 1 in 5 students at SST is supported through scholarships and bursaries. Here are the available scholarships available at SST students. We have the MOE EduSave Scholarship for Independent School, MOE Uplift Scholarship, MOE Independent School Bursary Scheme. So I'm just going to leave a few seconds here if you want to take the QR code to access the website for more information. Okay, I've come to the end of my segment, and I hope that I've given you a glimpse of the SST learning experience and the sense of the student-centered learning environment and programs that we have in SST. You'll be able to hear more from our student alumni speakers in the next segment. Thank you very much. Have a good day.